morning, world. Very often people make the decision to go into couples counseling without really taking the time to process and understand the commitment and the decision that they are making. And that is why today we're talking about 5 questions to ask yourself when considering couples counseling. One being, why do you want to go? Your why is going to be very important in this journey because your why drives a lot. It drives the commitment that you will make into the counseling process. It drives the goals. If you remember in a previous video, I mentioned the importance of setting goals with your therapist that you and your spouse agree with. And your why is going to play a big role in what those goals are going to be for you. So why do you want to go? 2, what are your expectations? That means expectations of yourself, expectations of your partner, as well as expectations of your therapist. You got to make sure that your expectations are things that can be met within the counseling journey. Things that if you, for instance, I mentioned 5 things that couples counseling cannot do. Are your expectations going to be things in that list? So you need to make sure that your expectations are things that can be met through counseling, are things that the counseling journey can give you, so that you're not investing in something to get it's kind of like planting oranges in order to get apples. If your plant is an orange plant, you can't expect to get apples. And that's why you need to make sure that when you're going to counseling, you're going to counseling to get something that counseling can actually get for you, to get something that counseling can actually give you. 3, what am I willing to invest? The counseling journey is going to be very intensive and it will ask a lot of you. It will ask you to make great investments of yourself, of your time, of your energy, of everything within you, because counseling asks you to pretty much strip down to your core so that you and your partner are able to work through whatever those issues are that led you to come to counseling. So what are you willing to invest? Are you willing to invest your time? Are you willing to invest other resources that you've been using for other things? Are you willing to make that shift from whatever you've been investing in the past in order to make the investment into your relationship? What investment are you willing to make in order to improve, in order to save, in order to better that relationship that you're in, that you're going to counseling for? 4, what am I willing to accept? There are things that may come up. There are things that you may be asked to do. What are you willing to accept? This gives you it. You're going to look at this from, yes, things that you find out about your partner, things that your partner will tell you, things that your partner is willing to do, because you may get into the counseling relationship and find out that your partner has decided they're not interested in working on this relationship, but they're willing to let you work on it. Are you willing to accept that kind of a deal? Your partner may make some concessions. Your partner may make some decisions that you will have to make a decision with on how you choose or what you want to do with that. And all those little things need to be considered when you are looking at the counseling relationship. And let me see, 5, am I ready for therapy? Again, this strips you down to your core. It gets deep inside of you. Things that you may not have thought about, things that you thought you swept under the rug, things that you didn't want to talk about, things that you never talked about, a lot of things can come up. Are you ready to handle what is going to come? Let's say you go in and you find out your spouse cheated. Are you ready to handle that? Maybe it's you who cheated and the issues coming up and you find yourself in a position of having to reveal that to your spouse. Are you ready to handle that? There will be things that may be coming up during the counseling relationship that will test you. So when you're making the decision to go into a counseling, into the couples therapy, you have to first determine if you are ready to handle the things that are going to be coming up. Or maybe sometimes you may find that, before you can go into the couples therapy, you may need to do some work on yourself. So understanding that difference can help prepare you so that you're ready when you enter the counseling relationship, so that you're ready to do the things that are necessary in order for you and your spouse to work together on your relationship so things can be better. All right, let's do a quick recap because this feels very long. 1, why do you want to go? What are you expecting? What are you looking for? What is it that's driving you to want to actually go to this counseling? 2, what are your expectations? This means what? Expectations of yourself, expectations of your partner, as well as expectations of your therapist. And of course, make sure it's not one of those things that I told you counseling cannot do. 3, what are you willing to invest? Because you're going to have to shift resources. You're going to have to make certain investments into your relationship in order for things to start going back to the way you want they were before, the way you want them to be now. So what are you willing to invest to make that? What are you willing to accept? There are things that will be coming up, and there are things that will be asked of you. There are things that you will discover. What are you willing to accept? Are there deal breakers for you? Are there deal breakers as far as what you're going to find out? Make sure you understand those as you're going in, because again, when you strip it down to the core, a lot of things will surface. And finally, are you ready? Ask yourself, am I ready to be vulnerable? Am I ready to open myself up? Am I ready to share everything and anything with my partner in order to save or improve, or just whatever it is that you're trying to do with your relationship in order to get that result? Are you ready to handle everything that will come up? And that will be it for today. Good morning, world. Have a great day.